Epic Whale is not in this game, 100%. Tavern is NA West's last hope, it seems like. 7th place at the moment. Epic Whale, not sure exactly where he was leaderboard-wise. 34th place, will not be able to play this game, 152 points. Not sure he was in contention for number 1, but definitely a high placement. As we watch Frey now, who's also a little bit in the middle of that pack.
His center map, I think he drops like literally on those mountains.
I'm wondering where he drops for qualifiers though, because this is definitely a finals drop.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But he's loving the central drops. Dusty Divot, of course.
Yeah.
Dusty Depot. The entire time. Just loves those central drops, and that's how he wins tournaments. And the other thing, too, he's staying away from the central drops that are dangerous, like Loot Lake was, and like Central Island is. Wolfies.
Like Risky, like Frenzy.
Exactly. Similar loadout to Bizzle, like pretty decent, especially with the floppers. No harpoon, though. And only one mini, one big pot. Definitely want to try to find one of those and drop something else.
If I'm ranking these loadouts, I think that Nano's probably the most weakest with the gray AR. Doesn't have a harpoon, but Savage has got the big shields. He's got the floppers. The strongest one is definitely Bizzle's with the sniper rifle.
I think so too, but Savage has ammo in his AR to kind of counteract that.
Bizzle's still greeting though.
And yeah, he is greeting. If anybody doesn't know what that is, he's not taking the big pot that he could have. So kind of technically, because Mr. Savage had 200 shield, kind of more even. Regardless too, Mr. Savage is about to get a good position for any sort of Stormster stat. No way. Scented. So close. Oh no, that was needed to happen. Needed to be big for Mr. Savage right now. Gets the wall, Scented, stuck in back, yellowed. All of a sudden, this is looking good now. I thought it was looking bad because he didn't get the initial tags. I don't want to be fighting, but Scented looks like he has nothing, not even stopping the heal, just trying to box up as far away as possible from Mr. Savage. And the escape, is he going to make it? No, didn't quite get the wall. On the side he goes. There it is. Finally, Scented still turns, just escaping. I think Scented has nothing to work with.
Absolutely looks like Wolfies is playing right now in the way he's tracking exactly where Scented is, exactly with the skin as well. Savage is on his heels 24/7. He's going to be using minimal mats as well and ending this fight fast as possible. Scented gets more shields popped off. Now in the box, a quick short hop to attack shot takes Scented out of the competition. That's game 8, and Savage has an RPG.
And a huge inventory with that too. All of a sudden, he's back on top and getting a little bit of revenge on NA West. Earlier, he took out, his former teammate, Edgy, took him out and almost basically made the tournament. Oh, he did make the tournament
a lot closer.
Yeah, it's a lot closer. He could have won from that game, essentially. Benji pick up an elim on Reunity in the feed.
Reunity slightly in 50th, 60th place at the moment.
Is that Rex down below? Yes. Positionally, a lot of people in, retail down below. Mr. Savage may have to cross retail too. I didn't even think about that.
You can feel the tension in even these boxes with the weapon switches over and over again.
Yep.
Faster than I've seen before, honestly. They're just waiting for the next zone to come through. We have 1 minute till we see how this entire place develops. Who are these two players?
That's Wolfies and Reverse 2K up high. Just swapped over to Wolfies. No shield and 2 inventory slots missing. He's probably going to psycho into a box here any second.
They're both very volatile because they're both not at the very top spots or at the very close top spots. You know,
Wolfies is.
They're 15th. He needs to be hungry though and start to, get this engine moving before fourth zone gets into play.
He needs to because 30 builds total, 300 mats.
I think he probably tried to early on, didn't get any, maybe unlucky rotations. Maybe other people got picked up by third parties. I think this might be a climb up to reverse if he's not paying attention.
Especially if reverse starts shooting or something like that. That's what he's waiting for, essentially.
He's looking at this pyramid, though. I don't think there's a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not.
Yeah, no, he's looking. Yeah, he's looking.
Yeah. Has to have the brain power to make this type of rotation efficiently at the same time. A lot of risk. Nano, possible. No. Not an impact frag, but he does get the loot from a frag that happened earlier. Nice refresh. Only has 1 mini, it looks like, though. Took a few shots in. He's having trouble getting the rest of the loot.
This is so, risky the way that he's going for this harpoon, but he does end up harpooning the rest of this. Yes. The refresh in. And making his trek up the mountain. Keep an eye for anybody in the back on the nameplates.
I'm still curious to see exactly Where Savage is.
Yeah. I mean,
Where
Savage and
Bizzle is.
That's
Yeah.
all I want to know right now. Those are the only questions.
Wink.
Yeah.
Wink.
Please. Wolfie's on this backside. Nice cone. He's got him in. I think that's not his wall, though, so Strafe stays alive for now. Strafe's one of the players with 0 points.
And if Savage is not on this mountain, that means he's probably in zone south side somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm just looking for that name.
Same time, Andalex, who obviously had such good performance at DreamHack Sweden, did pick up an Elim. He's still up.
Ooh, and look where the zone pulled.
Yes. So more even for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe favoring Bizzle.
I think Bizzle advantage 100%.
Here's Mr. Savage finally, pretty much right on top of where Nanolite was.
Congested side.
Congested, very congested side, which is completely opposite what you would normally see. It's on the very far side, which is more congested because everybody's starting to play, trying to be like, oh, I want to get to dead side.
Hey, possibility of it just ending then? Is this not a place that he can actually perform off of?
He can. It's Mr. Savage.
That's true. He has one Elim already to push through. We saw it unscented. Looking for any other names with Savage's sense very high. Shots coming in, a huge vital pickup for points.
Every single elimination matters so much. He just overtook Bizzle. If Bizzle has not gotten any eliminations, Bizzle at 305, Mr. Savage again, 2 eliminations and pulls ahead.
See that accuracy there? Not a single shot missed on the drop down. Maybe the first one.
Stone cold. I'm literally, there he is, Bizzle, underneath Clarity G, on the southwest side of zone.
So he's not north. So no one's on north.
No one's on north.
Side right now.
Nanolite, Mr. Savage, and Bizzle are pretty much all on the south side.
1. Zone pull. It's towards the north. Bizzle has max zone. Nano has advantage. Savage on the high ground towards the south side. Now is where the real story starts for this server.
And don't forget, Nanolite had that refresh inside that base. You saw how he was, ooh, big snipe out of Bizzle onto Creo. He's at 307. Placements have actually started accruing. So everybody at the same time getting the same amount of placements. They've just got to not only outlast each other, but out-eliminate each other. It's a 3-way brawl.
It's a survival game. Ultimately, if you go down now, it's absolutely over.
And Repulse God, actually, Bizzle draws a little bit of attention onto him. He's in 4th place with 271.
Yep. Alpha also might be somewhere within this game. Tavern also alive. West's last hope. Andalex, we saw him earlier on as well. They all have to make this rotation to make this game possible. It's game 8, the last game of DreamHack Anaheim. Multi-region, international BYOC competition.
And Bizzle's starting to make his rotation. Look at everybody. Not a single person's on this backside of zone. Bizzle's even one of the last to rotate. And moving up towards height too. Mr. Savage on the other side. He should be to the right. Nanolite's already in. A lot of spray coming in at Bizzle, but he's building very well to stay up.
Does he have height?
Not quite.
There's 3 different lanes of high ground right now. If anyone tries to come through, they have to come through 3 different sight lines. At the moment, that might not be possible. Bala will be switching out his batteries on his mic so we don't lose him towards this end game whatsoever. Breaking it down though, looks like Bizzle has the most informative position on everyone else. Av is up here too, so is Moki. We mentioned it before. No, there's more height actually on the left side of the zone that might have a say on things. 5 seconds till we see who has advantage. The top right side of the zone is completely empty, but also the lowest point in the zone as well. Harpoon available for Bizzle. Nano still the weakest loadout, and Savage has a lot of shields. Bizzle gets overtaken on height. Test.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
Everybody's in. Bizzle with the harpoon still, but no sustain.
The zone pulls through the biggest congested spot on the server and the biggest height. This is bad.
Well, it depends. Everybody has this opportunity. Don't forget, there's Nano. Looking at his materials, he has so many fish available. So much sustain compared to Bizzle, who has none. He has to be getting an impact frag, has to be sustaining on the siphon, has to be using old builds because he's even running out of materials.
We're dropping in with Bizzle now, going to be going in towards a higher ground layer, but look at the whole server in front of him. It's going to be a hard task, but only he is one of the people that can get it done. Moving down towards some layers, going to be using a lot of mats early on. the harder material kind as well. Switches over to wood, switches lanes.
Nanolite with an Elim. Every single one matters. Repulse God's still up. Every 4 players who we've been tracking this entire game still up. Bizzle playing so slow. Little comes right on top of him. 1 build remaining. Bizzle needs this. If he does not get this, he is going to go down soon. 7th zone going to reveal 2. He's not even into that 6.
It pulls even farther behind. There's no floppers available in his inventory. Now he's a big impact midair as he drops down. He gets that siphon in as well. Has the grappler available too if things go wrong.
Did not get the actual match from that, so the refresh doesn't matter. Just the siphon coming from that. He's going to go for the pull. Doesn't get anything quite yet. There's floppers. He's going for it.
This is the last hope.
Meanwhile, was up there. 2 floppers. 1 popped. Can he get all the way in? I don't think he can unless he can harpoon anything. 50
He has to look for a beam. It's on clarity. He goes in.
Oh,
the clutch! Accuracy unheard of, unseen of as he moves forward. 2 seconds. 1, the next beam. It's not possible, but was it enough?
Mr. Savage still up.
He's getting Elims.
Little still here. Mr. Savage just took out Jay, and Little has so much to work with. Benji Fishy in this as well.
Yep, 7 people finally left. Benji is the focus right now. He can get pulled up all the way towards that top 10 to 53 points. He's on low ground too, going for shots. High ground develops as well.
Nanolite nowhere to be found from what I can see. Mr. Savage falls off a height and RPGs someone. 4 people left, 3 builds, and an RPG to work with.
He has a rainbow low up, but the question is, this is a brain match as a big explosion comes through. Dodges the height shots. It's Savage versus Benji Fishy. Ex-org teammates, 100 Thieves versus NRG on low ground. While he watches, and Savage says no as he blocks him off. The traps are there. It's a 1v1. Is it possible? The edit flubs. He's not in zone. No fish. He's going for it. High ground. He has control. Odenide down there with floppers, healing up Savage. The next RPG comes through. The pump shot misses. It's another chance. He goes for the dive. No mats. Here we go. Odenide dodges the shot. Savage still up top. The 4th shot hits.
Oh! And takes Odin now with the perfect RPG. Mr. Savage is your champion of DreamHack Anaheim in a fashion I don't think I've ever seen. The most elims in a single game, 2 after all day, 9 total. Shio on top. Played out of his mind all weekend. Remember day 1, the first heat. He had the most points. He broke the record for points in heats at DreamHack. And then Scully took it back, but still played out of his mind in the semifinals even. I didn't even see the stuff that he did onto Creo. That was a ridiculous shot. I think he might have actually gotten most of the eliminations in this last couple. And then also to cap it off with Benji.
I mean, that cannot be more poetic. You see it right here. You mentioned it as well in the game. This is just like, you know, it's a play, but also a message at the very end of the day, right? As to who comes out on top at the very end, you know, org trades aren't always the most relevant things, but at the same time, knowing exactly who's there, following the Elim feed, both these guys know the big shutdown comes through right there at the very end as well. And then coming in with the traps, Odenide, very smart dodge too to get out of here, because there's only one way you can actually go. The edit flop comes in, no floppers available at all. But then Savage picks it up, gets the RPG, first one hits, doesn't get the actual connection with the pump though after the fact. And then finally, after I think 1 more after this, he gets the nice explosion damage with the classic combo we see so many people have all the time.
It was an open back too. 0 mats. He actually took height with the little mats that he had and held it and maintained 4th place at a major tournament.
I mean, after that, we got Thomas, West. I wouldn't expect West to be under OC internationally. But at the same time, you know, fair ground in qualification, fair ground in the finals. These guys pulled all the way through. Andalex pulls all the way up to 6. We talked about the trampoline effect, right? Setting yourself up to push up, and he did. Although couldn't break in that top 5, 6, nothing to scoff at whatsoever. Alpha after the fact, I think probably one of the most consistent under the radar players we saw today.
He's been in the top 10 the entire time. I don't think we mentioned like once, unfortunately. Rifla, who had the